On this episode of Hot Rod Garage,
we're back on Woodward with big power,
big tire,
big competition,
on a little tiny street.
Welcome back to Hot Rod Garage. I'm Alex Taylor, and this is...
Hi, I'm Lucky Costa.
How are you doing?
Super, how are you? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
I know, we got a fun project today.
Correct. This is our 1955 Plymouth Savoy.
You guys might remember, we built the car in 28 days.
Yeah, and by built the car, you mean you and your dad and the whole crew built a complete chromoly chassis and then wrapped the skin of a Savoy around it. You know, like you do.
So last time we were at Roadkill Nights, we built the car specifically to go compete in the Hellcat Influencer Grudge Match.
Some of those rules were a 6-speed manual transmission and a Hellcat. Did I mention Hellcat?
Yeah.
Hellcat drivetrain.
The car is super set up to be competitive on the street. It's got the right amount of weight, the right amount of distribution. It really showed a lot of promise last year.
I'm just going to commend you right now on being so humble.
Thank you.
Basically stomped everybody there. Anybody that pulled up next to this car knows the car now.
To refresh you guys on what Roadkill Nights is, it is a street race celebrating the history of Woodward Avenue in Pontiac, Michigan, which is very iconic and historic. Cars from Drag Week, fastest street cars in America, they go. Cars that go race, no prep and back of the track and things like that go.
Yeah, there's some legit crazy cars there.
This time, we are not competing in the influencer portion of Roadkill Nights. We're actually going to compete in the big tire section of the event itself.
We'll still be influencing, though.
Influencing them to go faster. You get 3 rounds of qualifying, and then the quickest 8 cars go into a quick 8 shootout. Small tire has 8, big tire has 8, and then you race and hope that you come out on top. So the problem right now is that this is still a manual transmission. I know, it's still a cool factor, right?
It is very cool.
In between rounds, we're looking at least 45 minutes for the clutch to cool down so we don't smoke the clutch. And when we go to Woodward, we are not going to have 45 minutes in between rounds and passes.
We're running laps.
This time, we want to put an automatic transmission in it, which is actually something I've wanted to do ever since we built the car.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit faster, more consistent. I'm going to be able to use a trans brake.
I do love the trans brake.
And we actually get to make some safety upgrades this time as well.
We want it to be a comfortable, drivable, easily commutable vehicle.
I don't want any of that. I want it to be intense and ready to meet some competition.
With blinkers and headlights.
With blinkers and headlights.
Okay.
All these cars have to be street legal. They have to have DOT tires, lights and horns, and everything that your car would need to be on the street, including license, registration, and insurance.
Correct.
We're tailoring it to the event and to the goals that we're trying to meet. And this time we're going back to street racing at a little under of an 1/8 mile event, 550 feet. We gotta make the car perform for what we're doing.
Tailoring it, I see what you did there.
Anyways, we got a lot of work to do as we head to Roadkill Nights, compete in the big tire class, and hopefully make the quick 8, which is the actual competition section of that race.
On beautiful Woodward Avenue.
In Pontiac, Michigan.
Sweet. It's kind of cool, I might have to keep it. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Hot Rod Garage. Super. Already took out the drive shaft. We unhooked some wires on the top, took the shifter off, and 2 bolts, and this thing is gone. Alex had a good point too. We won't do anything with this because it's a nice, well-built vehicle specific to this transmission, this vehicle. So we'll just keep this with the transmission because it might go back in. You never know. So the trick here is to keep it all nice and straight.
So we're going to be pulling our 6-speed manual transmission out and preparing for our power glide that's going to be going in.
Going down, 3rd floor, slush box 2 speeds, 6 speeds, and turbo 400s. Okay, so the 6-speed is out. Still have to pull off the bell housing, scatter shield, clutch assembly. This is a multi-disc clutch. And the flywheel, not flex plate, it's a flywheel, but what is going in is a flex plate. Ow. Ready?
Yeah.
It might be heavy.
It's not light.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, so this is a multi-disc clutch. And those are some interesting colors.
So this is our 6-speed faceplated transmission that we just took out. This is our clutch that we just took out. And one of the biggest things that we're trying to avoid is the need to cool the clutch down in between rounds. So over here is what we're going to be switching to, which is a power glide. So it's a 2-speed automatic transmission. It'll have a manual valve body with a trans brake and then our converter with a flex plate. So of course you can't just run back to back. You will get stuff hot here, but it's not the same as this. And this is a little bit easier to cool down. My friend over at Jake's Performance is going to do us a favor and get us a transmission in a pretty decent time. It's just not this week. The new transmission will also have all the good drums and input shafts, and everything internal will be nice and high quality with the trans brake. So our goal this week is to use this as a mock-up so that way we can work on shifter location and mounting as well as a transmission mount back here. That gives you kind of an overview.
One of the good things about doing wiring on the vehicle is Alex was planning ahead when she originally started building this car and ordered a steering column with a turn indicator and hazard switch built into it. It's called a combo switch. Gives me provisions to hook up brake lights and turn indicators and still have the provisions of a little lever on the side. Roadkill Nights absolutely wants to see us with a fully street legal car. This makes it a lot easier. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Alex.
This engine came with VVT, so variable valve timing, meaning that it can retard the cam up to 38 degrees as it is in part throttle conditions. With the Holly Dominator, we're not actually able to control the VVT, so we're going to be locking out the cam. To lock the cam out, or lock the cam phaser out, I should say, we need this little bitty piece right here. This has to come off, and this and that, and then everything else, and then it all has to go back together for this. Finally, after fiddling, got the whole front cover off. Now the phaser is out. We have this cam phaser lockout kit, part number 5760 from Comp Cams. The way it works is you insert this, which will take spring tension off because there's a spring inside of here. Let's get into it and you can see how it actually works because this is all we're putting in. Okay, so this is the inside of the phaser here. Oil comes into here, which goes into chambers, which goes into vanes, which controls how this twists under partial throttle. So this open gap is the amount that it could move, which represents, say, 38 degrees of retarding the cam. That's how much it's able to move. By inserting this piece, as you can see, it's just going to drop in just like that. And that's going to prevent it from even being possible for it to move and retard the cam at all. So now that I'm going to tighten this up, it puts pressure, which will keep that in there and in place, and it won't fall out. Okay, so now that that's in there, I can get ready to start reassembling the phaser. Keep in mind, tech tip, make sure not to remove this tool until this is all reassembled, or else you will unwind the spring at this point. So go ahead and get everything tightened back up, and then you can take stuff apart. Welcome to Arts and Crafts, hosted by Alex Taylor at Hot Rod Garage. Today we have the craft project of sealing this intercooler up. So if you guys remember the last time that we took it out at Famoso and the time before that, it kept making very violent lane changes, but it finally occurred to us after our last pass as we're driving home and talking that this thing is sweating. So, long story short, we have a lot of reason to believe that there is water leaking off of this. You guys know, water on the track or water under your tire is not ideal. So, going to go ahead and wrap and insulate this. Let's wrap. This should seal it up nice and tight, and hopefully we no longer have a random lane change. So I stayed last night and got this intercooler tank all wrapped up. So that is ready to go back in. And as an extra precaution, hopefully we have time to add a floor before Roadkill Nights, but one step closer to hopefully preventing those violent left turns.
So one of the fun parts of doing wiring is you get to go to all four corners of the car and every light, marker light, headlight, bulb, take it all apart and just completely rebuild it. So most of the brackets are still here. I drilled out all the holes. I put new rivets and everything, cleaned it all up. Still going to be adjustable. It will articulate in all directions. This is a Dodge Red Eye Hellcat. So one of our producers decided to do the headlights in red. I'm not taking it off. There's no reason. They work. The rule book says working headlights. They didn't specify whether they need to be red or clear. We're sticking with red. Headlight fits right in. Retaining ring goes right on. I'll put a couple of screws in there. It will hold it all together. It'll look like factory and actually work. Put this on with some new screws. Okay, I'm conducting a lighting test right now. High beam or low beam? Let's try the low beam. There's the high beam. It gets brighter. Okay, front marker light should be this one. And this should be a turn indicator. Boop, boop, boop. 3 wires plus a high beam and a low beam. Pretty simple. Why buy a whole harness when you can just do that?
Now that we're putting the power glide in, we need to put a new shifter in. And I'm pretty excited about this. Going with this B&M Pro Bandit shifter is one of my favorite, like off-the-shelf type shifters. The nice part about this for this situation is it's actually already set up for a power glide. So it's a 2-speed setup here. You can buy a different gate plate and make it fit whatever transmission you're going to be using with it. And then while I'm at it, I'm actually going to fix these side panels here and just tack them back together so that way we don't have as much rattling. It shakes a lot. The way I'm going to install this is take 2 pieces of square tubing and weld them into our transmission tunnel structure that's running through the car. I made this new panel, which also has flanges on it, so those other panels can sit on top, and it adds a little bit of rigidity to panels that were already there. So now that this is mounted and in place, the shifter can go over these 2 tabs here, like this. Still have to put a neutral safety switch in. It'll have a line lock on the side of it when it's all said and done. All that good stuff. Run the shifter cable as well. Now that this is in place, we have to address the fact that there is still no transmission here. We have things like the cross membrane, cable routing, and all kinds of other stuff to figure out. We need to do that sooner rather than later, so we have a power glide on borrow that we're going to use for mock-up so we can make the transmission cross member with the correct measurements. Installing the cam phaser lockout is now complete, and I'm ready to go put it back on the engine and start sealing stuff up. So yesterday when we were taking the balancer off, we realized our crank pin, which was one tiny little piece, became 2 tiny little pieces.
Right.
The crank from factory with the Hellcrate engine does not come pinned. That's something that we added last year when we were putting this all together.
We put ATI on there.
Yep.
Which is an overdrive. It's going to put a lot more load on the actual pulley, so they give you a pin kit to prevent it from spinning. Yeah,
we've got it ordered. It should be here tomorrow, so we are going to wait on the pin and the kit to drill it, the fixture that comes with it. But in the meantime, we will be busy, but we will be back to this tomorrow.
So the next thing is the rear tail lights. So I'll put a dual filament 1157 with a receiver or receptacle, and that will give us a tail light and brake light or blinker, same circuit. Made a little bracket that holds the brake light sending unit directly above the actual lever of the brake pedal. So when you step on the brake, it physically releases the switch. There's no pressure switch or micro switch or anything like that. It's kind of cool. When you step on it, it sends voltage into the combo switch, which is inside the steering column. And then in turn sends voltage to the 2 blinkers in the back, which if you get voltage at the same time are actually brake lights and not blinkers. So this should be the left blinker. So with the clutch out of the way, if you step on the brake, the other side becomes the brake light while the left is still flashing. The other direction is the right blinker. You step on the brake, the left is now a brake light while the right is still a turn indicator. And if the blinkers are not on, they are both brake lights. Super.
We have our cam locked out, the front cover back on, and it is time to pin the crank. We made almost 1,000 horsepower to the tire on the dyno. we think that's when the pin broke and elongated the hole that's in the crank snout.
So first thing I did was I marked on the front of the crank where the old hole was. So when we put this fixture on, it will be 180 degrees off, or pretty close to it. Doesn't have to be exact. It fits very close. It's a tolerance fit there. Hold on. Let me hit it with something hard.
Ow, that hurt me.
Did it?
Watching you do that hurt.
Anybody know a vet? Because I think these puppies are sick.
So we have the smaller drill guide stuck in here now with the holding screw. We're getting ready to drill into the crank all the way through to the center bore, so it'll be a through hole. Keep in mind, it is a press to fit pin, so the preciseness of this is very important, but that's what this fixture allows you to do. So now it's time to actually put the pin in. It's supposed to protrude out of the crank 0.093 because that is the depth that we need to go into the keyway here on the balancer.
Alex Taylor,
Yeah.
Is this thing ready to go?
That is.
Here we go. Enjoy the show. All right, it's going. I'm exhausted.
The crank shaft is repinned. The dampener is back on. All of the front accessories are pretty much on. I just have a few more tensioners, a couple belts to put on. Then I can drop the blower, bolt that back down. And then after that, we can attack the transmission, raise the car up in the air, mock the transmission into place, get the transmission cooler mounted, route lines, make a transmission cross member. Lots of fun stuff coming up, but we've started to check most of the big stuff off the to-do list. Getting ready for Roadkill Nights, we have taken our 6-speed manual transmission that we raced with last year out, and we are putting our 2-speed Power Glide in. We wanted to make sure that we were going to be competitive and could make it to each round as we go to Roadkill Nights. We were having a little bit of trouble cooling the clutch in a short period of time, so this is going to be perfect for the racing that we're getting ready to do.
So no more clutch overheating.
Correct.
And no more crazy body movements in every gear.
So this is not the actual Power Glide we're going to be using. It won't be here until next week. Jake's Performance is building it and sending it. It'll be SFI case, so we don't have to have scatter shields or anything like that. But we're going to use this for mock-up. So it is the same length to the mounting point. So we're going to go ahead and do transmission cross member, go ahead and mount our cooler and run lines and all that good stuff. But we get to play mock-up.
Okay, I did do some pre-measurements, and the alignment dowels are super close. It's going to be the easiest install we've done all week.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Up.
There you go.
All right.
What we have done is lined our input shaft in the transmission and the center of the crank line. That way we know that it is the height that it's going to be.
We have it parallel to the back of the block, so it's pretty close to straight.
So we're going to use it in this position, go ahead and build a second cross member that will mount separately from our original one. When our new transmission gets here, it should be pretty close.
I cut a piece of chromoly to go from left to right trans cross member. We had a couple of prefab gussets. Also got a couple of flanges that we picked up at a local metal place. Cut it, trimmed it, punched a couple holes in it, and now I'm going to tack it in, and I'll take the whole thing and set it on the bench, finish welding it together.
Since we've built this Savoy, something I've wanted to do as we take it out more is upgrade safety where we can. One of those things includes a fire suppression system. What we have here is a 10-pound system from Spa Technique. It'll have 2 nozzles for the driver, 2 nozzles to the engine compartment. So this here is an auto manual block. You can do manual deploy by pulling the handle. That'll be mounted, but also if you were unable to in the event you got knocked out or couldn't reach it or something like that, when this bulb in here breaks at 175 degrees, it will automatically deploy the system. We've got nice billet brackets that we got from Spa Technique as well that'll hold the bottle up to the roll cage and then mount this block up close to the firewall area. Building a plate right now to mount this to. And then I can start running lines and then I'll mount the handle and we will be just that much safer.
I think I'm going to also tack these gussets in for now and then just remove the cross member as if it were a removable cross member, which is what it's going to be. I just finished welding up the Transcross member. I've removed the mock-up transmission. The new transmission with the correct bell housing, it should be here next week, at which point we're all ready for it. Seems secure. I know what you're thinking. Could this car possibly be any cooler? The answer is yes, but just a little bit cooler. This is Derail cooling module. So this is 2 trans coolers on 1 bracket with a fan and -6 lines. This is a nice apparatus. We have plenty of room up here. I'm gonna make a little bracket, mount it right up in the front right here. Air will blow through, the fan blowing through this will keep that cool, and then even increase the cooling of the radiator efficiency. Try to get it past this bracket. I need to just flex on it. There we go. It will sit just like that. The lines will go down. So we're gonna put this in right now. Holy schmoly, that's cool.
Right now I'm working on the in-cabin portion of the fire suppression system. I've routed the main line to our distribution block to the front already, and I have the line that goes from the distribution block over to the 2 nozzles that will be towards the driver routed. Now I'm getting ready to route a line up this post to point a nozzle towards me and one down to the bottom to point it more towards the firewall and closer to my feet. You want to make sure that it's effective, and for me, I want to make sure that it's very visually appealing.
So I whipped up a little sub harness to go from the shifter. Alex has a couple of switches on there that we're going to wire to, I believe, trans brake and launch control, possibly line lock, cell phone communication, social media activation. I don't know. You can wire them to whatever you want. I put a couple of Deutsch connectors on the harness coming out of the shifter, and then, like I said, built this little sub harness. Plugs right in. Cool part is it makes it serviceable. If you have to take the shifter out, you have to cut any wires, you just unplug it. I'm going to route these wires over to the right front corner of the cab. You can open the door, sit outside in a little stool, and build whatever you want without climbing around inside the car upside down.
Fire suppression system is all plumbed both in cabin and under the hood. Now it is time to actually mount the handle. So I'm actually going to build a bracket, but raise it up about right there and either bolt or weld it to the panel here. That way, if I was going from shifter over to here, it'd be super easy to grab. And then this compartment will be pretty close to done.
One of the things you have to do when you convert a car from a manual transmission to an automatic transmission is extract the pilot bearing out of the end of the crankshaft. So with the pilot bearing out of the way, it's time to put on this SFI certified flex plate. This has no external counterweights, which means it's a zero balance motor.
Everything is set up and in place in the driver's compartment. The shifter is mounted. I have the trans brake right here, line lock up on the first button of the shifter, horn on the second button because it is going to be street legal. The trans brake, it's keeping the transmission locked in place. The car can't move, but the engine can rev up. You can put your foot all the way to the floor and you can have a rev limiter set at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever you want to launch at. And then as soon as you let go of the button, your foot's already full throttle and the car takes off down the track. For the line lock, this is something that you use when you're doing a burnout. Basically, locks the front brakes up and it allows your rear wheels and tires to spin so you can do a burnout and build tire heat, and then you can let off, make a shift, and roll out. That's how it all works. That's why it's placed where it is. But that means that it is coming up for my favorite part, which is test hits as we prepare for Roadkill nights. And that means you guys can see all of this in practice coming up. The Savoy is almost ready for test hits to prepare for Roadkill nights coming up really soon.
So close.
So going into this, we had a few goals because we need to make it to Roadkill nights, which has some rules. One, it needed to be street legal.
Registration, insurance, lights, blinkers, brake lights, you know, the regular stuff.
The Power Glide is on its way. Jake, who built it, is actually driving from Texas to California right now, and it will be here tomorrow. We did mock it up. It'll be nice and easy to put in once it gets here.
And he already dynoed the transmission.
He did do that.
It's already broke in, ready to go.
It is. We've now done all the things that go with an automatic transmission swap, like a trans brake. We have our shifter mounted. We put the cam lockout in as well and repin the crank.
Right, that will prevent us from breaking parts.
We've made some safety improvements.
Yes, as a matter of fact, fire prevention.
Yep, and we also have DOT rear tires from Mickey Thompson now as well.
Department of Transportation approved.
Yes, which
Splendid.
means it is time to test.
Are you forgetting something?
What?
You seem to do it all the time. Blow the doors off the car?
Oh, I guess we have to put the doors back on the car. Minor detail.
We're this close.
And we will see you guys at testing. So we're currently in Milan, Michigan, getting ready to test the Savoy on the track. We went and took it to Famoso a couple weeks ago, and it went straight. Finally, after many passes down the track where it wanted to keep making a hard left, couldn't figure that out. But finally, mounted a camera underneath and saw what the rear suspension was doing, and Dad helped come up with an idea of how to make some adjustments and get the car going straight. And on the very last pass, we had it make a straight hit, and it felt really good. Went ahead and put some new shocks on it from QA1, so mod series with different valving. Our others were maxed out. And we also got a dyno tune from Tuner Tom. First time it's had a real good tune since we put the Holley EFI on it. So that should all be squared away and good to go. We're going to head out to the track and make a couple test hits because the competition is going to be pretty stiff this year from my understanding in the big tire class. And since we are actually competing this year in that class, we need to bring our A game. So we want to make sure that we are getting the car to go straight. We want to make sure that the nitrous is coming on in a reasonable manner. And we want to make sure that we have enough knowledge to make adjustments according to the conditions that we're going to see once we get to the street. Really important, really exciting that we're getting to test. And I think it's just about time for us to start now. First hit, it is not down on power anymore, as meaning that it doesn't have that bog when it comes off the line. So I think we have that fixed. That was still no nitrous, so we'll go back out and try it with nitrous on this next pass. But first, we're going to check the rear suspension, front suspension to make sure nothing's moved and that everything is close to what it was when we had it going straight at the track the other day, because it was still a little squirrely on that one. Was beneficial. We don't have everything sorted as good as we'd like to yet, but we have all that we can get sorted with what we have. Going to change tires because we think part of our walking now is sidewall. Mickey Thompson is sitting at the hotel and they have a set of 16 by 16 wheels with a great tire for what we're getting ready to do. So we're going to put our real wheels and tires on, which should help with some of that walk that we're seeing. So I will see you guys at Roadkill Nights.
We are set for a big day of street legal drag racing here on Woodward Avenue.
We made the move from asphalt to concrete this year, and I think it's going to be some really fast times. I think everybody's going to have their A game on in order to go to the quick 8 here later today.
Okay, we made it.
We did. We are back at Roadkill Nights in Michigan.
It is a whole new venue, and this is almost a whhole new car.
Got a lot going on. Not only did we swap out the 6-speed for a power glide, but we did everything else to make it street legal. Check out those license plates.
Yep.
Last year when we came with the car for the first time, we were in the influencer grudge match. This year, we're going to be competing in the big tire class, and I am ecstatic about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just roll in and get in line.
We did get to do some testing before we came out here.
How did that go?
Testing's always good. When you learn something, we learned a lot. We've got a little bit of suspension worked out. We did get to swap over to our new Mickey Thompson tires that are DOT, so hopefully the car will go a little bit straighter than it was.
So no lane changes?
We can only hope so.
So after testing, how was the weather?
So the weather was less than pleasant, and this is less than sealed.
Right.
I didn't actually realize that it was going to be sitting out overnight, and I guess a hurricane came through last night.
Did you notice that?
I did. Turns out every single relay in there got soaked. So fuel pumps are turning on and off, starters kicking in and out. So we're trying to dry it out or find a substitute. So we've brought Nick in. Nick Taylor, not my brother. He'll be my crew member for the day.
Is that Nicky Bobby on Instagram?
That is Nicky Bobby.
It's a good name.
All right, we have a lot of fun stuff to do, and we got some streets to hit.
Good times.
Let's hit the streets.
We have Alex Taylor here with us right now in our booth. You're in the big tire category, going for the bag. I wish you all kind of good luck out here.
Right here. Thank you.
The best part of my job right now and the energy around here is I'm just riding on her coattail. She's the dominating champion here.
Oh, we got sprinkle. I do see some rain. And we have rain coming down now, so we're going to sit back for a few minutes and have to take a little bit of a break. So we hope to be back after this weather clears off, and we'll get the rest of the day in.
Generally, a rain delay is a bad thing at the racetrack. Today, we're very fortunate for the rain delay. We need a little bit of extra time to solve some electrical gremlins that occurred in the Savoy last night in the rain. One of the regulations is the driver can have one crew member. It's Nicky Bobby, super talented, super capable. I'm just sort of narrating over his shoulder if I can, but I can't actually get hands-on.
Everything ran through this relay board was basically shorting to itself and turning on and turning off. Using these relays makes things easier, but when they go bad, it makes it really hard if you don't have a spare. So trying to figure that out.
It's nitrous, headlights, ignition.
Yeah, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. We need correct voltage to all the ECUs, and it's definitely iffy.
So there's two 4-channel MSD relay blocks in here. The problem is literally everything is ran to the blocks. We have a disaster on our hands. I've never said, thank you, rain, but right now the rain is buying us a little bit of time, and that's our positive to this. This is streetable, but it has not been sealed up like it should be yet. There's a lot of water that came in yesterday. So what we've done is we've pulled and sorted what switch does what, which goes to what wires, and we believe, as of now, we have it wired enough that we can make a pass. The only other issue now is that there's a lot of water on the ground. We don't know if the water's gonna dry up and there's more rain on the radar. So to be determined if we make a pass or not.
Now we're back, and thanks for surviving the rain and the bad weather. We appreciate everybody hanging in there. We have nothing but sun.
Thankfully, the sun's coming out. They have a track dryer going. It looks like we're gonna be racing. Nick and I got most of the wiring figured out. It's very, very temporary. It's held together by twisting wires together and duct tape. Not proud of it, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you don't have the stuff to do it. That's where we're at.
So the rain is cleared up, the track is prepped, it's all clean, it's all dry. They're in line right now. Let's get that thing up here and see what it does.
Alex made the change from a manual last year, and she owned it with that car in the manual. Now she's going to have an automatic in it, which in my opinion is going to make it even tougher to beat. Here comes Tom Bailey with the brand new Sigma Magazine Durango.
Alex Taylor, High Rock Garage, Tom Bailey, Sigma Magazine. This should be a good race here.
Jason's got them both ready, and he's going to send them on their way.
Good lap for both of them. Good lap for Alex. Good lap for Tom. How about that, folks?
So that was a battle among friends. No feelings hurt. Everybody's cool. Savoy rocked it. That looked pretty cake to me.
I felt really good about that pass. The car went straight. It hooked. It took everything we gave to it. So I'm happy.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
It went straight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
I lost my voice.
Yeah, because we can hear you screaming in the car at the top of the track.
I think the new tire and wheel combination really helped straighten that out. Testing was really valuable the other day, and I feel much better about it. So I think we're going to add more power and see if it'll take it.
Add more power?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hot Rod Garage. Everything's perfect. Let's add more power. Have you had the chili dogs yet?
I haven't got to.
Oh, delicious.
All right,
Absolutely.
I'm going to add power, get a chili dog, make a hit.
Okay.
Woo! That was a really good pass. We're really happy with it, but it took what we gave it, and everybody here who makes a lot more power, their cars also took everything they gave them. So we have a progressive nitrous controller, but we're 100% with the jets that we have. I know the motor will stay together like that, knock on wood. So we're gonna leave that, but we did take the timing retard out, which was pulling power off the line. So it's either gonna hook and go, or it's gonna spin, and we'll know we can't do that.
Okay, so one pass is in the can. The one thing they're not giving us is the actual times. They're gonna figure out the top 8 qualifiers of 2 passes. We're getting ready to do the second pass. The top 8 qualifiers will then go to a shootout. It's gonna be a good time right there. I know she's gonna be one of the fastest Dodges, if not one of the fastest cars.
When you talk about Alex's chances, let's just say, of making the top 8, I think they're really, really good.
All right, a couple serious hot rods coming up here. Some of the big tire cars that will actually drag the burnouts across the starting line because they want to lay down patches of rubber. They want to be able to get that starting line better. Pay attention right here. Could have 2 of your big tire slots filled right here. Alex Taylor left side, but she's going to face the former champion, Joe Barry, the guy who won it all last year in big tire. That's the creamsicle 1956 Chevy over on the right-hand side. So both of these cars very capable of grabbing a top 8 spot right here.
55 Plymouth Savoy, 56 Chevrolet. Definitely is time to start thinking about who could be a top 8 player.
Both cars left great, and then Alex started driving.
Yeah.
Driving around. Driving right around the other lane. Win 2 in a row.
And the car that you guys beat ain't no slouch.
Yeah, that ain't no slacker right there.
Check the whole shot.
Look at
Jason
this.
Ruger, the orange rod, and Alex is checked out. Lights out.
Already a car plus in front. Now, Barry's obviously got more power in that car. And you see he starts reeling her in, but 660 feet, an 1/8 mile, disappears in a hurry. Look at the replay.
Very close race, by about a door.
Yeah, that was about a little more than a fender, like not much. That could be fast enough to get into that quick 8. We're just going to have to wait and see.
I have to be fair. Joe Barry, his 56 Chevy.
That's a wicked car.
It's a wicked car, and he has turbos, so I don't know if he had time to spool up and get on boost, but I know that this thing took the power.
So what is the hoedown? It's like the top 8 or something?
Yes, so we don't know what we ran, but they do. And they are going to tell us who made that cutoff, and if we made it, we raced. But I know there's a lot of really, really fast cars here.
Yeah.
That's a fast road, so it's like Christmas morning. The anticipation is killer.
Really, what's the limitations right now?
So we've taken every timing retard out. We have given it all the nitrous we currently have jetting-wise, and I feel safe with that tune. So now we refuel it, we ice, and we wait.
Oh, so it's like a Friday night.
Yeah.
Cool.
Woodward Avenue about to get attacked by the Hurst Hemi underclass. Mike Mantle in the burnout box. The supercharged Hemi going to make some glorious noise.
Look at that car go, 2 wheels.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let him hear ya.
We just did 2 qualifying runs, and we just got the text that we are in the big tire shootout. So the quick 8, it's head-to-head. So from here on out, it's instant elimination. So let's cross our fingers we make some rounds.
The top 8, big tire.
We talked about Alex Taylor probably having, in my opinion and your opinion, the best reaction time out of anybody.
In that group, certainly.
Yeah. Left side is Joe Barry. He's your defending champion right here at Roadkill Nights. Right-hand side is Alex Taylor. Joe Barry, who is a turbo car, won it all last year, which means he had to be on the arm drop. Can he do it against Alex Taylor? She ran him last time and took him out on a whole shot. So a couple of heavyweights going to battle it out a little earlier than expected.
This could be really, really exciting right here, folks. There comes the power. Here comes the power. Here comes the power. Oh my God.
They both kind of mean light, straight the whole way down the track. Track's prepped great. Good times.
That was way too close. Look at it on the replay. Alex
comes that
Taylor
horsepower.
over a half a car length in front. Look at the finish line and how close it was. Here's the finish line.
At the stripe, by a nose.
Ooh.
Great drag race.
Oh, so close.
Great drag race.
So that was crazy close. The left lane got it by, I had to be just about a bumper. Hey, you know what? It's all racing. I'm actually sad to say that's it for this episode of Hot Rod Garage.
It is. But that is not it for the Savoy because we need a Hemi
No subliminal messages there. We need a Hemi, very simply.
with more power adders. We were in the top 8 of all the cars here that were on big tire. We had a great group around us that were in that class, and the Savoy is working.
It is a nice, drivable, street legal car.
That needs more power.
And maybe some wheelie bars.
We need to say a congratulations to Joe Barry, longtime friend, very competitive racer, and has a pretty sweet car as well.
Absolutely.
I really am happy that we made it out. Happy that it turned out to be a great day.
Yep.
And this Savoy is a blast to drive now. So we have a lot of people to thank.
That's a long list.
We'll start with Mickey Thompson for loaning us some wheels and getting us some tires that made the Savoy
That was
happy.
absolute game changer right there.
100%. Jake from Jake's Performance.
Right?
He built a power glide for us in like this much time when we needed this much time. And then Nick for coming out and helping us get the car going down the track today.
Are you referring to Nicky Bobby on Instagram?
Yes, Nicky Bobby.
Love that guy. We can't forget Tuner Tom
Tuner Tom.
and Balto's Performance with dyno use.
Absolutely. They also helped us put our brand new QA1 Mod Series shocks on, and those were a game changer as well.
Hey, have you got social media?
I do. It is Alex Taylor Racing. How about you?
Oh, I am Mobile Tech Lucky on everything.
Oh, how great, because we are Hot Rod Garage Show, and if you want to see more, head over there. All right. 1, 2, sandwich.
You want to make sure people like Cotton aren't sitting in the passenger seat. It will cause injury to the car.
The fries are done.
That's the worst. Street cars, drag cars, race cars, all kinds of different. It's a.
Calm down. Take a breath. Take a breath.